Vincent Renfield, the AEW. The subject is the AEW choose your own adventure approach to fandom. He puts a question mark by it, so this would be interesting to find out what he's talking about here. Yo, Di, and Conan. Joe, why don't they ever say hi to you?
Some people do, not everyone. Because I don't know.
You know why? Let me tell you why. Because when they do mention you, what usually happens with Conan's kazoo?
Oh yeah, they get kazooed. Yeah,
right.
And then so Conan is.
Do you think that might be corrupting the pool, like KG
used to say? No, but I think also Conan gets suspicious that I push the emails through because they mention me or put me over. So that's
or they wear your shirt or something like that. Yeah.
Like Jed Frankfurter.
I don't like that. I don't like when people put you over, Joe.
I know.
Last week, I stumbled onto an episode of Being the Lead on YouTube. It featured the Dark Order, which can only be described as a Scooby-Doo-esque villain-type role that is complete contrast to how they are portrayed each week on TV. It seems as if AEW is attempting to cater to both casual wrestling fans with weekly show, but also offering a completely different experience for people who want the kayfabe stripped away. Initially, it seemed like a good idea, but the reality is that if AEW is doing their job, casual fans will start digging for more content, eventually stumble upon their favorite maniacal cult leader, high-fiving his minions over free Chili's takeout. Is that what the content of that show was? They were high-fiving because they got free Chili's?
Yeah, well, I guess. Yes. I mean, they do silly shit on there.
Yeah.
I'm curious how you guys feel.
They came in with bags from Chili's, okay?
And that was on Being the Elite.
The Dark Order on Being the Elite. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's when they came. Oh, so that was all from the... I'm curious how. Okay, well, we're answering the question. I'm curious how you guys feel about this. Is it offering the fans the ability to dig deeper, or is it harming the persons that they established on the weekly show? Thanks from Vincent Ranfield, bro. I don't want to see stuff. This is.
I think
I don't like that. Bro, they got no heat. It's like their show does not have heat.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep doing silly, funny skits and Saturday, bro, it's just like if you think you're funny enough to do stuff like this, and if you think it's that funny, then why are more people watching it? Why is it not growing?
Yeah, and here's another thing. Me and Disco always say this, bro. There's nothing worse, really, than bad comedy.
Bad comedy.
They have a lot of it.
Yeah.
And everybody doesn't need to be funny. That's another thing.
Right.
Not everybody isn't funny. So if you're gonna do what you do, the comedy bits right, do the violence bits right, get your heat shit right. Everybody doesn't have to. It's. I just think that a lot of giving you the benefit of the doubt because I've been and am in that position. So as Disco, I know it's very hard. All the egos, everybody wants something. Who are you going to push? Whose contract is coming up? All that shit. It's not easy to write a fucking show and deal with, all these people's attitudes, egos, and fucking, but I don't think it's a very well written show, and it's not, and it doesn't have me really hooked. Right now,
let me make a perfect.
I get more hooked on the shit I see in NXT.
Let me give you a perfect example. Okay, is if it's like if they were doing a gimmick that's based on say the cult of Scientology, which is will mirror this to that because they're supposed to the Dark Order is supposed to be like a cult, right? If you were doing like a gimmick on Scientologists, all right, the gimmick would be as like the weirdness of the mind control. Like why are they in control of these people? Why are these people? So and you've seen the ones Going Clear. You saw the HBO documentary on Scientology, right? Going Clear.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, right. And there's talk about bro, that would be the story. But you want to take that story and you put on HBO and you want to run a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode off of it. It's like, so what are you trying to do? Right. Like, is it a cult that we're just going to giggle about and make fun of and do comedy bits? Or is it a cult where hey, why are these people joining this guy?
Right.
Are you guys going nuts?
And here's the thing. You've got a perfectly cast guy that's got that Charles Manson crazy fucking look that's very believable that he could have a badass cult with you that you'd be like, holy shit. Because he's got that persona, you know what I'm saying? Right. Put him with a bunch of fucking hooded J-Brones who act like J-Brones, are treated like J-Brones, but he's so bulletproof that so far he's been able to resist that stain from them.
Dude, I'm gonna go one step further.
Yeah.
Think about this, okay? Now, if you were doing a cult gimmick, all right, you would probably mirror stuff that Kevin Sullivan did in Florida back in the day, right? With woman
something
and stuff
like that, right?
Okay, right.
Raven,
but bro,
Raven and ECW.
He's literally spoofing the Filthy Animals shit.
It's interesting.
It's like, I mean, could you imagine that? Okay, the Filthy Animals. Yeah, well, what about like they're a cult gimmick? It's like, geez, well, our gimmick was comedy. we're a bunch of guys that were making fun of people and shit and all that. That was what the gimmick was.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Right.
But not like the, but imagine the Dungeon of Doom.
Bro, we would come out. Remember that you were like my hype man. Go, yo, what up? Jigga, jigga, what? And you'd come, jigga, jigga, what? And just repeat everything I said. And people would be like, boo.
Bro, the funniest thing would be like, you and Hoovy and Ray and Tigress would all be like sitting there having in a powwow. And I'm come running in the scene and be like, hey guys, I got some great news for us tonight. Tonight it's me and Ray in a tag team match for the titles against so and so. Everybody's like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Me and Hoovy already have a match." I'm like, "Oh, that's right." It's like, Conan, how about you, me and you? It's like, "No, bro, you idiot! I got like a hurt elbow. I'm out for 2 weeks." I'm like, "Oh, gee, what am I gonna do?" It's like, Tigress, do you have a match? All right, no. She goes, "You come with me. We got a match." I screw up everything, So, but that was a shtick,
Right.
So,
but the whole group, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was a comedy-based party group. That's what it was.
Right.
Real quick before you move on, I just wanted to say that being the elite was a great thing for the elite guys. It gave people a perspective on the Bucks and Kenny and Adam Page and whoever, who they were backstage, who they were on the road. It's part of how they got so popular.
Yes, it is.
And they still do it now, as a supplement to the AEW show. So it was good for that stuff, but it's not good when you're doing silly shit with your dark gimmick, right?
I'll argue that.
Well, dude, they promoted all.
I think it was.
Yeah, I mean,
let's hear his argument.
All in. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's bro. Look at the type of fans they drew on being the elite. Look at the type of fan base. They developed this fan base of all nerd culture, like anti-social.
Okay.
And now they just took that and threw it on TV. And it's like, the fans followed them on the main show.
But bro, they're going to become rich off of that, or they already are
big time
off of that fan base. Just like Alex Jones became rich of a certain fan base. I'll give you an example. My boy, Baby Bash, he's a rapper, right? And he did this monster song with Akon. If you hear it, you'll know it. And so when I met him, bro, he's a good-looking guy from Vallejo, California. And he used to sing like really hard gangster rap type shit. It was really, really dope. And next thing I know, they changed his name from Baby. They changed his name, and now he was singing like songs for girls, right?
Right.
So I go, bro, what happened to all that hard, cool shit music you were making? He goes, hey, the girls pay the bills, so I'm making music for them. That's his niche. That's where he makes his money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's where they make their money, off that nerd culture crowd.
It says the song was called Baby, I'm Back.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember that song, D.I.?
Yes. I've heard in the club a bunch.
But with being the elite, you got to remember that All In, the first one, and the first Starcast, was everything that they sold, all those tickets to each.
Remember how crazy that was, Glenn?
That was from being the elite, and then Conrad and his shows. But being the elite sold out that building in Chicago, and no one thought they could do it.
Bro, but you got to give him credit for. But you got to give him credit for that, because they actually put a plaque on the wall there for like one of the fastest sellouts or some bullshit like that. Imagine how many acts have been there. I mean, that's what's making them their money. That fan base, however big or small it is,